world, YouTube. Think twice. Back on YouTube once again. I've been gone for quite some time. I know it, but I'm here to fix all that. I promised you amazing tons of videos concerning game design, like graphic design, color science, and so on. And that's what we are doing today in this video. We are going to look at some of the best methods to know and create your perfect application, mostly specifically this game design itself. So I'm going to take you through all this with a software called Affinity and a color picker and a quick few illustrations, and with a software called Viewbox. If we've got time, we'll dive into Unity in the next video after we're through with this. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and you can also follow us on Facebook at Think Twice Game Dev. And personally, I'm running a game development company right now. This is why things have become a bit tight to do that. I'll talk about more about the game development company. Right now, I want to talk about you. That's what this video is about. All right, let's head to the labs and see what we Alright YouTube, we're on the table now. It's serious business now. So now we are going to look at 5 most important concepts when it comes to color science and design. We want to make those apps and games look amazing. So I'm using the software called Affinity. You can use Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, any designing tool you prefer. This concept works with any application. What's important is that you're supposed to have the color that you prefer for your game and how you're gonna work around it. So we're gonna work on the hue, also known as the HUE. I don't know how you're gonna pronounce that. Saturation, also known as chroma. Also, we're gonna look at temperature. From temperature, we're also going to dive into color grading, from color grading and so on till we see something come out. Because we are trying to achieve a game or an application with beautiful color coordination, because obviously your users want your apps to look amazing. So yeah, for me, like I've said, I'm using a feature designer. I don't know what you're using. So let's dive right into it and see what we can create. Alright, just before we get started, don't forget to use a mouse. Don't use a trackpad because you have a much bit difficult to navigate around your interface. So use a mouse, it's recommended. Yeah. Hello world YouTubers, yeah, let's get into this now. Alright, so now we're gonna just talk before I just dive into the softwares we're using today. Just wanna make sure to remind you about today's video. We are not really diving into game development, but looking at the graphic design concept and design modeling process of everything before we start creating games. So before I start, I want to just let you know that in this video, you're going to learn the most important principles when it comes to colors, design, illustrations, everything, just to make that beautiful project of yours come out stunningly amazing. It is important for you to know how to mix your colors, because your colors will determine what color palettes you are going to use, because color palettes are very cohesive and they play a very vital role in design and in our everyday life, because they draw that catchy thing for our eyes, because our eyes need to see something really attractive. Yeah, so right now my desktop is open right now, so I'm gonna launch up my Affinity. So we just go onto my start bar right there. I'm gonna search for Affinity. Affinity is right there. If you can't see Affinity, you can just search for it if you cannot see Affinity. Alright, so what I'm gonna do right there, I'm just gonna search for Affinity. I'm just going to say Affinity Designer. So I'm going to launch it. I'm just going to say OK. So I'm going to fast forward this part here because I don't want this thing to take a bit of process, because I'm recording, I'm doing this, so many applications opened and there might be a delay. I'm using Affinity 1.9.2, and remember what I said, you can use any illustration software. Even if any software I'm not doing with Affinity. It says that I love Affinity and I've been using Affinity for quite some time in the game development industry. Yeah, so I'm quite new to Windows. I'm coming from Apple, Mac OS so the interface might be a bit challenging for me, so don't mind me with the errors I'll be making. But I'm sure I won't make any errors because these things are all the same. No, I'll update this thing later. So that's my affinity there prompt up. So before I just begin, I want you to know that everything that evokes certain moods of communication with color always has to deal with color theory. And that's we're talking about hue, we're talking about saturation and value. And when I talk about hue, I'm just meaning the simple thing as in terms of color. And when I talk about saturation, I'm talking about this intensity of how, the value of how this will go, either light, dark, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And value, how your process of your color will work. So now I want to teach you how to harmonize colors with affinity. So this is Affinity Designer. Affinity Designer. So most of you, if you're following this video, if you got affinity, you can follow along real great. But for those in Adobe Illustrator, what other software is there? GIMP is a free software. Affinity is a paid application, but you can actually actually I think there's a trial version online and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. But anyways, let's just jump into this. So we click new document right there. You click new document. You got your new document right over there. And let me just minimize. What is this thing doing here? Okay, so we got that right there. So you got my presets right there, you got your prints right there, you got your press ready, you got your photos, you got your web, you got your devices. And the coolest thing I love from Affinity is the device part section. Not every application out there provides this. I know Adobe Illustrator has something familiar to this, but I just love the way Affinity lays out. I'm not marketing anything, I'm just a graphic designer. I'm talking about all my own experience with this. Yeah, so before we just dive into this right now, let me just pick up a device. Let me just pick up I'm gonna just say iPhone X. Just pick iPhone X at your side right here. It's left, right. Where is this? Left, right? I think this is right. Yeah, at my right, you can see your layout, you can see your page width, you can see your page height, you can see all that. So today we're just gonna deal with this section orientation. We're gonna deal with also the transparency background. Just uncheck that, or else your background will be transparent. You don't want that to happen. Yeah. Okay, so iPhone X right there, and click create. And you just wait for it, and the artboard will pop up from anytime from now. Yeah, so you got your artboard right there, and you got your section of your icons right there. If you're trying to prototype an application, you got your tools right there for your artboard, and you got, most of you, this is not turned on. It's just that my Affinity has turned this on. I'll show you later on how this works and so on. Right here, we're just to understand color scheme. So designing, the first principle I want you to understand in color theory, a color scheme is the choice of your colors used in variations of anything that's artistic, design, and other things you can possibly think of. Yeah. So for example, let's look at what like other common things that are found with color schemes, like what? Okay. So with colors are really important, trust me. Just these things you're seeing right here, the side, and you can see one over right here. So you can have absolutely different types of colors. You can pick what you really want, what type of tray you want over here with Affinity. But right here, I want to work at the common ground, and that's this. So you got a color wheel, you got you got your stroke. You can absolutely change whatever you want. You want sliders. You either you want tints. You want to work maybe with boxes. You're cool with boxes. And okay, let me just stop right here. So I talked about boxes. Let's act hue. You know what hue is? I talked about hue. That deals with color. Then I also talked about saturation. Remember saturation? I also talked about lightness and so on. But yeah, but let's just not jump right into this. I don't want to sound really complicated. All right, let me just pick up a shape. I'll pick up the shape right here, a square. So I'm just gonna draw a line right there of a square. Then I'm just gonna make that thing transparent. Then I'll pick up that color right there. So this color right here, I'm just gonna double tap on it. So when you double tap on it, and the color thing pops up. So this color thing here is what we're gonna spend much of our time, like crazy, seriously. All right. So now if you see right this here, you can see that there are different sections. I'm in red, and there's this area that's like deep red, that and so on. Yeah, but most of designers or graphic designers are also, I can say, like, these people just easily just drag things right there and don't mind how their saturation of their color really is. Others like making it faint, others like making it dark, and so on. But in this video, I'm going to show you the best tips that will make your apps stunning, like beautiful, stunning. Yeah, so just before I just dive into the stunning thing, I want to show you a quick example of a game that used an amazing color scheme to make their project amazing. All right, let's take a look at color switch. I'll just dive into a different software. This is Buildbox. Remember, we're not looking how to create games in this video. We're here to learn about colors, and I'm gonna pick color switch because it's the best example I can use out there. So I'm gonna go into the world scene right here. You can see color switch has got different colors, so they use different worlds to create this. So you can actually play the game right now and just see how the colors we actually put together. This color scheme is actually beautiful and amazing. I love this. Yeah, all right, I'm just gonna cancel that. So I'm gonna minimize that, go back to Affinity Designer and jump right into that. So for instance, we're trying to create an application or a game and we don't know what colors are. Remember, we need to know how we play with our colors, and we're talking about with color scheme, color science, and so on. And when it comes to our colors, we're talking about different types of color palettes. Color palettes are just like, there's types of like monochromatic thing and so on. So we'll look at all this later on. So now the first thing I'll talk about is monochromatic. What is it? What does it do? What do we do with monochromatics? So with this one, we are simply working with things that deal with the differences in the hue, the HUE. Yeah, it's according to how you pronounce it. Well. So let's go in a color hand and look at how we harmonize colors with these color palettes. A great example. So I'll just dive into my web browser. Let me just minimize this with my web browser. Okay, where's my web browser? Right there. All right, so I'm on my web browser right now. So right there, I'm on color hand. You can use other color palette providers. I love color hand because they just have this cool, amazing layout of how this, because I recommend it. Yeah, okay, so you can see how these colors are put together. So this is a great way you can understand color palettes and things, because designers and artists love this, because you discover new ways of how you can work around with your project. So you can have like something that deals with vintage. It will lay out all the color palettes for vintage. That's one thing I love from color hand. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. All right, so you got this. You can see how many people have been using it, how many people have been working around it. And with color switch, you can from the way the game just really looks like, you can tell that this color were warm. They were more of like summer, hyper casual looking game and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So if I go in summer, your colors wouldn't just they'll tell, okay, these are summer colors. Like literally, I can tell this is summer colors. Like, yeah, you know what I mean. All right, so I'm gonna wait for this thing to load. You can see the colors. Like you can just tell, like, okay, yeah, those are summer colors. If I go on dark colors, it will let me know when how dark colors work, and so on and so forth and stuff like that. Yeah, so you can see the colors were dark, amazing, and so on. You can see a lot of like 2D hyper casual games use different color schemes to make their games amazing. And in this video, we are simply understanding how all these games work around their designs and their amazing ways of creation. All right, guys, back to Affinity Designer, to our artboard. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna just stretch that out. Mind you, I'm not using my mouse anymore because I feel free already just using this thing like this. So we're gonna pick up right there, right here means that double tap right there. I'm gonna pick up a color. So now let us say we want to pick up a color palette. We want to use let's say we're trying to use let's say what? Okay, there's this new feature I love from Windows. You can actually bring in something. I don't know if it will work for Affinity. Let me just do this. Can it work for Affinity? Let's just see that. It didn't work. Let's see if we go to our web browser if it'll work. Okay, there's this new amazing thing. Yeah, that thing. Then I'll pick Affinity Designer. Yep. So beautiful. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just push this thing a bit away from the screen, and I'm gonna push this thing a bit away from the screen to where ain't you moving. All right, by the way, thanks Affinity, you can drag and drop, you can drag these things around, you can put that thing away, but I'll just put it back like there because I don't want to make any errors. All right, so you got that. So I'm gonna pick up this, I'm gonna pick up this color, so let's combine these colors. So I can pick up these are also colors. So if you into like website development, you understand these. Yeah, beep 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 robot language, just joking. These are just short codes for like colors and stuff like that. Mostly it's web developers and programmers who love using the number scheme, but for us designers, let's just stick to the things we can actually see, because we ain't gonna master those numbers. Like, can you give me hashtag 06466? It's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna wait for it to load so I can get these colors, because I love these colors. So I'm gonna download this image so that I work around with the color palettes. So I'll wait for it to load and stuff like that. Wait for it, and it's downloading, and I'm gonna pick it up. All right, hope you guys won't see my files. All right, I'm just gonna blur this so that you guys don't see anything. Yeah, because I'm hiding a lot of stuff. But just remember why you threw your download. And I'm gonna open up and maximize that thing. I'm gonna expand this color palette. I'm gonna just drag it at the other side right there, and I'm gonna get my selecting tool right over there. I'm just gonna lock this. So this is where you lock your selection tool. Remember, this is a tutorial, so I'm going to teach you how to use Affinity. So this is the selection tool. You can use the shortcut move tool. Just click V on your keyboard and it will come. So what I'm going to do here is I want these colors. So I'm going to pick up this here. So this S is going to help me know what color I need. So I think I'll make this thing the background. So this will be the background color. So I'm going to click that. Then automatically this rectangle shape of mine will be the color choice of mine. Then I'm gonna pick up another ground. So I'm gonna pick up this ground plane right over here. So I'm sure you're probably asking, what is he about to start creating? Where do you see what we're creating? All right, so obviously I'm gonna pick this thing as the ground because it's brown, because I just love that. Then I'm gonna just go back to my rectangle tool right there, make it that. I love that. This looks like an amazing sneaker. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. Just gonna put that there. I'm just gonna get this section over here. I'm gonna make this thing white because I just love white. All right, just put that. Don't ask me what I'm creating. This is just a random video. I'm just trying to wonder what I'm trying to create. So you got that right over there. Why aren't you going there? Central C to copy, Central V to copy and paste, Command C, Command V. That's for Apple. Okay, you just do that. Drop that there. Control C, Command V. You just do that. I'm just gonna make this thing more tiny. I'm gonna zoom in so that you people are able to see this much more clear. Drag it over there. Put it over there, and make this thing, drag it a bit, moving a bit this side, and push that thing there, and what am I missing? Okay, then we get another square. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna push this here. I want to show you something very cool about Affinity. You see this tool right here. When I click this tool here, this what this tool does. This tool is really cool. Okay, I miss this other one, the corner tool. I love the corner tool. It really works amazing. So click Shift when selecting, because I want multiple ones. I want to click this Shift there. Then I'm just gonna drag this thing at the other side, and automatically I get that amazing thing, a window. Alright, then again I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna just wait before I do that selection tool. This window is too big. Somebody might be seeing us through this window, so we need to make this window look amazing. Okay, so probably I'm sure you're like, okay, we're getting somewhere there. We're getting somewhere. Yeah, we're definitely getting somewhere. I love zooming in to see my work so that I'm actually precise and accurate on everything I'm designing. All right, so you can use your left arrow, right arrow to move around so that this is aligned well, and you make sure you're always on the select tool before you make any mistakes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just click like that, click right over there. I go on the corner tool, I select, click shift so that you click both of them at a multiple time, then you just bend it a bit, then just click elsewhere. All right, then we have that looking amazing. Then I'm gonna click this. I want this, I want that. Yep, let's see how that looks. All right, amazing. So things are coming to life. So you can see how beautiful you can create amazing assets and projects for your game as easy as that. So as you keep playing with Affinity, you get to know more stuff. So you go to view. So these are my grid lines. When I turn off these things, you see certain things will be off. But let me use something that you will see. Let me turn off my my margins. Okay, my margins are not. Let me just do this. Show grid. I want you guys to see something. Okay, so those are the rulers. The rulers are gone. So you're asking about the rulers. So that's the ruler too. So you turn on that thing, it comes up. These things just helps us align the thing. But most of the times, working with pixelated things, make sure you show your grid lines, because grid lines help us align the things accurately, like that. As simple as that. I'm trying to make this video as fun and quick as possible. In the next video, we'll be learning how to drag and put these things into our projects, both either animation or into our games. But as you know, Think Twice Game Dev is all about games, so I'll teach you how to create games. I'll make these things come alive into your game projects. But if you feel like you want me to make animation tutorials, please, you can go on my Facebook page or my official website to go vote for that if I should start making animation videos, because I mostly just do things that deal with game reviews and game development. Alright, so you got that. So you can see how beautiful this thing works. So you'll be asking yourself, okay, Twice Dev, how does this work? Then is this secondary? Is this primary? How do I know that? Yeah, probably learned that in high school, but if you forgot to just dive back into my other colleague YouTubers out there, there are tons of videos. I don't want to sound old with this video. Yeah, so right there, I'm gonna click on that. So I'm gonna put this into this. I want to make this thing come out really amazing. So just turn off this. I just don't like when my grid lines are on. They just make things off for me. Okay, all right, so we're gonna make this thing look beautiful. So what we're gonna do is this. So center 0 to make that thing align back to center. So far we've used this color, that color. We haven't used this color, so let's try using this color in this window. So let us see how that works. Right, okay, amazing. I like that, but I love the other window. But anyways, let us see how this goes. So now I talked about saturations. How are saturations work? How do they pass in? How do they drag in? How do they put themselves together? So when you click here on the view, I think I'll use this for the saturation. So you go onto your saturation level right here on your color. In Illustrator, please Google that. I'm not hating on Adobe. So you can see the saturation area here. You can see how dark you can go. You can see how light your box can go. You can see how bright or low or what. You can just play with your saturations as so much. So these are different saturations for different colors, and so I hate these colors. Anyways, so you can play around with different colors, and the most amazing stuff we look in the future videos, we look at gradients, how gradients work, because don't forget, in games or other stuff, we deal with gradients to make your project look amazing, just to make that beautiful thing just come out stunning. You got the noise for the wall. Like imagine like when I go my layers, so my layers are found here, so I click on my layer, I just go on my opacity right here on the noise, I just increase that, and that amazing force, let me zoom in, that amazing beautiful wrap thing comes out there. You got so many stuff like that, you know what I mean, just, you know what I mean, yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah guys, so this is Affinity Designer. So you can export your project
in different formats: PNG, JPEG, GIF, TIFF, PSD, SVG, EPS, EXR, HDR, and so on. And you can choose any file format you want and any size. You can choose the whole artboard. You can do a whole selection, single selection. You can do a preview if you want to see how things will look like when it's done. You know, like you're like, okay, this is how my project will look like, and it's so cool as that. We'll look at so many tools, amazing stuff we can work around with Affinity. I can even like spice it up by just trying to see how this will look on my mobile phone by just dragging myself with the little bar right there, and just let me just use this. Let's drag this bar by dragging maybe this bar here. I just drag that bar. If I dragged it, oh, I didn't drag it. I drag this bar right here. I just put it right there. Like, you know, you can prototype, you can pitch your idea to an investor. You know, you can, as you are sending maybe your games, if you're locally right here in Zambia, you're trying to pitch your idea to the Chroma team, we can actually see what idea you have, and like okay, this guy is serious business. You know one thing I love from prototyping, it's serious business. Prototyping helps your project come to life and to just bring that confidence to your friends and say, okay, we're going somewhere with the design. So you can see like the project is somewhere there. In the next video, we're gonna make something that is really live. Today I was gonna just make sure I focus on all these things, like concerning like the color saturation, the borders and so on, the HUE. We'll look at so many amazing other stuff. So all these are color palettes. You can go explore, go search for Color Hunt right there. And thanks to Color Hunt for making this video possible, so you can check out this amazing beautiful saturations out there, and you can explore. Just to go out there, 2D hyper casual games. You can also see examples of graphic design boards, so to learn more about color. But we don't need that because I got you covered and stuff like that. Yeah, so you can see more amazing crazy things, how you can play with color, and you can see the most popular things of the month that people have been using for their color palettes and stuff like that. Yeah guys, so you know it. So you go around out there, search for more amazing softwares. You can search for Adobe Illustrator. I talked about Illustrator and so on. You can search for more amazing application for graphic designing out there. There's so many tools that
Alright YouTube, thank you so much for taking your time watching this video. So more amazing videos and designing is coming up, so don't forget to subscribe, leave that bell button on, and thank you so much for the amazing views that we've been having on this channel. And don't forget to check out our games at www.chromapixelgames.com. Ciao!